Okay, welcome to Russia, turn 3. USSR is going to spend 30 IPCs on 10 men, 4 IPCs on an artillery, and they're going to save 3 IPCs because they have 37 IPCs to spend. They will be declaring a series of attacks. The first one is in the Baltic states. They're coming up against these 2 German infantry with 2 Soviet infantry, 1 artillery, and 1 fighter. They will also be attacking the Japanese in the Chinese territory of Shahar. There's an infantry and an artillery there. They're coming in with a tank and a mechanized infantry. In Amur, they're launching 2 attacks on neighboring Manchuria and Korea. In Manchuria, they're coming in with 3 infantry and 1 artillery. And then in Korea, they're coming in with the remaining 15 infantry and 1 tank. They're also going to be attacking the Japanese destroyer in Sea Zone 16, and they're going to be coming in with the fighter and the tactical bomber from Amur, and then landing on the American aircraft carriers. Okay, so let's set up the dice and get rolling. Okay, for the attack on the Baltic states, again, the Russians are coming in with 1 unsupported infantry, 1 supported infantry with artillery, and 1 fighter. So that's a 1, 2 2s, and a 3. And the Germans are defending with 2 infantry. 2 hits. So the battle's over. But the Russians do get it, or the Germans do get a chance to defend. And they miss with both. So Russia takes the territory with no casualties. Good start. Okay, for the attack on Shahar in China, they're coming in. The Russians are coming in with a mechanized infantry at 1 and a tank at 3. The Japanese are defending with an infantry and an artillery at 2. 1 hit, so the infantry's been killed. Japanese defense. 1 hit, so the mechanized infantry has been killed. So it's a tank versus an infantry. That's a hit. And that's a miss. So the Russians do liberate Shahar, and they have a tank remaining. It's the battle for Sea Zone 16. The Japanese destroyer Yukikaze is being attacked by a Russian fighter and a tactical bomber. So a 3 and a 4. No surprise, there's a hit there. And the destroyer misses. So the Sea Zone is cleared of Japanese ships. There's still a lot of American ships there, but the Japanese have been cleared out of the zone, and the fighter and the attack bomber will land on the American carriers in Sea Zone 7. Okay, this is the battle for Manchuria. So we have 2 unsupported Russian infantry, and then a Russian infantry supported by an artillery. 2 1s, 2 2s. 1 hit from one of the infantry. And then Japanese response, miss. So Russia claims the territory with no casualties. Okay, for the attack on Korea, the Russians are coming in with 15 infantry and a tank. So 15 1s. This is kind of a no-brainer roll. And a 3. 4 hits, so plenty. They only needed 1. Put all these dice directly back in the box since the battle's over. But they do get a chance to defend. And they do actually get a hit. The first hit of any of the combat rounds. This is the only casualty that Russia has taken this turn. But they do take the territory with the loss of only a single infantry. There's a fair bit of non-combat activity here. The infantry from Archangel is going to move to Nenetsia. One of the infantry from Novgorod is going to move to Archangel. One of the infantry from Karelia is going to move to Novgorod. One of the infantry from Novgorod is going to move to Belarus. One infantry and 2 anti-aircraft artillery are going to be railed from Novgorod to Ukraine. The mechanized infantry in Belarus is going to go to Ukraine. 2 of the 3 infantry plus the artillery from western Ukraine are going to go to Ukraine. The anti-aircraft artillery from Russia is going to be railed to Ukraine. And then we're going to use the Trans-Siberian Railway to rail 1 artillery piece all the way down the length of the railway to Amur. The 2 anti-aircraft artillery in Amur are going to go into Korea. And as was mentioned before, the 2 planes, the fighter and the attack bomber that participated in this C-Zone 16 assault, are going to both land on the American aircraft carriers in C-Zone 7. So I'll tidy up the board. We'll be back with placement of new units and income. Okay, this is the placement of new units. Their new artillery is going to go into Russia, presumably going to be railed east. 4 of their new infantry are going to go into Novgorod. And 4 of their new infantry are going to go into Ukraine. Remember, they have the ability to place 1 extra unit in their factories because they have improved production technology. 2 infantry will go into the Amur military base as well. Now, I can do part of the income. We can flip all the things we need to flip. So they're going to get 1 IPC from the from the Germans, and they're going to get 3 IPCs from the Japanese. So let's fix that over here. So they're going to go up 4 from 35 to 39. The Germans are going to go down 1 from 51 to 50, and the Japanese are going to go down 3 from 28 to 25. Now there are a couple of other adjustments as well. They have liberated Shahar for 1 and Manchuria for 3, and that gives the Chinese 4 extra IPCs. So China goes up from 9 to 13, and Japan goes down from 25 to 21. Okay, so they're going to get 39 IPCs to spend as their base income. They're going to get 3 because they saved 3. And they have 3 bonuses. They have a 5 IPC bonus for liberating Manchuria. That's a one-time payment. They get 5 IPCs because they control 3 of the Baltic states, Novgorod, Volgograd. The Baltic states, Novgorod, Ukraine, and Eastern Poland. They don't control Eastern Poland, but they do control the other 3, so that's 5. They also get 5 for controlling the Urals, Siberia, and what's the third one? The Urals, Siberia, and the Ukraine right now. So that's 15. Now, I do have to stop the recording because we have to roll Lend-Lease, and he hasn't yet told me what decision he's going to make if I roll Lend-Lease. So I will wait for his reply and film the rest of this when I hear back from him. Okay, we're ready to roll Lend-Lease for the Russians. So they got a 4, and that means they get a destroyer in C-Zone 127. So the Russians are going to build a destroyer in C-Zone 127 over here. So the Russians all of a sudden have some navy. Okay, so let's do our disposition of forces. We may as well start with Sea Zone 127. In addition to there being a submarine there is now a destroyer. In Sea Zone 115, there is a cruiser and a submarine. In Novgorod, there are 2 artillery, and then 5, 10, 15, 22 infantry in Novgorod. There's an infantry in Archangel. There's an infantry in Nenetsia. In the Baltic states, there are 2 infantry and 1 artillery. In Belarus, there's an infantry. In Western Ukraine, there's an infantry. In Russia, there's an artillery. And in Ukraine, there are 4 anti-aircraft artillery, 1 artillery, 1 mechanized infantry, 1 fighter, and 4, 5, 10, 17 infantry, along with a bunker that he built. Oh, and sorry, there's a bunker in Novgorod too. Okay, over in the this part, oh, we're going to have to change these. These are no longer pro-Soviet. They're neutral because of the invasion of Manchuria. There is an infantry, or there's a tank in Shahar. I've already started the Japanese moves, so that's why you'll see some of those there. In Manchuria, there are 3 infantry and 1 artillery. In Amur, there are 2 infantry and an artillery, along with a military base and a bunker. And in Korea, there is 1 tank, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, and 4, 8, 14 infantry. In addition, over on the American aircraft carriers in Sea Zone 7, one of the carriers has a fighter, a Soviet fighter, and the other carrier has a Soviet tactical bomber. So, Russia will collect, I think we did this already, 39, 42, 52, 57 IPCs for next turn. So Japan's up next, and as you can see, I'm going to give you a bit of a preview here with, I've already started getting the moves ready. There's going to be a lot of activity in Japan, especially at that air base in Guangxi. So stay tuned.